Welcome to the October 27th, 2021 Parma City School District Board of Education meeting. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Mrs. Lucio.
Mrs. Bratz. Here. Mrs. Carpus.
Here.
Mr. Price.
Present.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Present.
Mr. Vaughn.
Present.
Dr. Smilak, can you please confirm that this meeting is currently being live streamed?
Yes, it is.
And can you please monitor the live streaming throughout the meeting? And if there is a problem, please speak up immediately so that the technical difficulty can be addressed.
Yes, we will.
And with that, information to the board. Dr. Smilak, do we have any?
Just a few items. One is actually about a resolution that you're going to see, and I just wanted to give a little bit of background to the resolution. We have heard from across the board. Mrs. Stropko and I do check-in meetings each month with our principals. We go to the buildings, we talk with our principals, we visit a staff meeting, or we visit classrooms. And during the month of September, it was relatively deflating as we heard story after story of how difficult it has been to staff. And we know from here, looking at numbers, that we are low in some areas. Monitors, special education assistants, noon monitors, etc. And to hear that firsthand and see sort of the wear and tear in our principals' eyes about what that meant for them on a daily basis was really eye-opening. It's one thing to look at the numbers on a chart, it's another to hear the personal stories. So Mrs. Stropko and I also have twice monthly meetings with principals. So we opened up the conversation about how could we look to help you. We know we can't snap our fingers and make people appear out of the woodwork, but we are sensitive to the fact that there is a need. We're sensitive to the fact that we ask you to be instructional leaders, to be in our classrooms, and that it's very difficult to do that when you're a door monitor or a noon monitor. So there were many different requests from all three levels, but the one request that was really sort of uniform K-12 that we really thought could make an impact was raising the substitute pay rate, and you'll see that as a resolution today. So we had originally already raised it. We went from $90 to $100. That certainly didn't move the needle very much at all. We've averaged this year between 17 and 22% as a fill rate for our substitutes, which means outside of the 17 to 22% where we're actually getting a substitute for the classroom, we're filling by splitting classes, or we're filling by having teachers cover, and that's just, quite frankly, exhausting the workforce. It's not only a financial burden because it actually costs more money to staff if you're using period subs, but it's also just, it really takes that emotional toll. A teacher comes to work expecting to have a lunch, expecting to have a prep, expecting a certain number of students in their class, and when those are taken away from them and they are working all day minus their lunch period, or they're having 6 or 7 extra kids in the classroom, it certainly helps or hurts their efficacy as well. So that would be the reason for the pretty dramatic bump from $100 to $150. We did consult with Rachel Wixie, which is our sort of provider or consortium that we use for substitute services, and they really agreed with us that $150 would be sort of a substantial move the needle kind of move. So that's what you'll see later, and we certainly appreciate your consideration. We don't try to do anything dramatic during the school year. I will give you a heads up, just in terms of staffing. We're starting to be that school district that's getting in trouble with bus drivers as well. So we're going to have some conversations tomorrow. Mr. Nucio is obviously a very important part of that conversation, but we'll have that conversation and put our heads together in terms of how we can address that. Certainly we need to operate school. We need to operate we're already at state minimums, so there's not a whole lot of give room in terms of our transportation services, and we need to be able to deliver students to school safely. So that is more to come later, but I did want to give the board a heads up on that. Any questions on either one of those issues?
No, I think we're all hearing that the teachers early in the year, I mean, we're still in October. They're coming camp with both ends, and it's because they're doing so many periods of and being called on to do so much stuff. On top of coming off, all the stuff that they've endured the last 2 years as it is.
Right.
Hopefully this will ease up the congestion a little bit.
We're hopeful it can definitely bump up that fill rate.
And even when we bumped it up a little bit earlier this year. You showed us that chart, gave us a copy of the districts and what they are paying, and we were still quite low on that chart. And so hopefully this will be impactful.
And it's gonna become difficult across the board. I mean, we're not unique. Every district is having issues. Lorraine went to $200. I think Canton went to $235 in substitutes. We don't believe we're at that level of need at this point. But can you get a license, sir? You can probably still.
I have a license.
You still have it?
Oh, yeah, a permanent.
There you go. We'll know where to find you if we take it.
Holy cow, just do 1 day a week, I'd be happy.
So, again, just some background as to where we're at. Mrs. Strapko has a presentation this evening on adopting AP Psychology digital curriculum.
Thank you, Dr. Smilek. This is real quick, I promise. This is not curriculum adoption season. However, we have advanced placement courses. We actually offer 19 at the high school level, which is really exciting. It's art, music, and then our 4 cores. The one that we are looking at tonight is AP Psych. It will be a pilot adoption, a 1-year adoption. And so anytime we have an advanced placement course, our teachers have to align their syllabus with the standards for College Board, which directly link to the end of the course exam. And if students get a 3, 4, or 5, most colleges accept that as credit for that course. So on top of that, there's also approved textbooks. In this particular course, our textbook is expired. So therefore, we would not be able to, College Board would not be able to approve that syllabus. So I am recommending to the board tonight, using our district goals, increasing student achievement, improving transparency, and practicing fiscal responsibility, a 1-year pilot, which I believe will turn into a 6-year adoption. This year, we are looking at all of our AP courses for adoptions and making sure that our courses align to that College Board piece. And so this is the first of many that you will see during the springtime. So our last adoption was 2011. And the previous resource had a 2008 copyright, so it's no longer useful for this particular course. We have to align to the 2019 coursework updates, which needs comprehensive digital program that's accessible to all learning modes. And then also connecting to our authentic literacy playbook. So AP Psychology is offered at all 3 high schools. We have 2 sections at each high school, and our department chairs were part of the process. In this particular textbook, it's AP Psychology, and it is Myers Psychology. It is directly aligned to the 2019 course exam descriptions. It also has end of module in question that are directly linked to the AP test. And it has end of unit part questions and then practice exams at the end of each unit. This textbook is huge, it's very heavy. Our staff does not use this entire textbook. We only use pieces and parts based off of the units within the syllabus. And some of the units, just so that we are being transparent, there's 9 units. It's scientific foundations of psychology, biological basis of behavior, sensation and perception, learning, the cognitive psychology, developmental psychology, motivation, emotion, personality, clinical psychology, and social psychology. And so, just like any other adoption, even though this is a pilot, our materials were available on the website, in the lobby. Overwhelmingly, our staff members recommended it, so 100% of our staff members did that teach the course along with our department chairs. We did not receive any responses from the community, so I wanted to note that. It was on the website and available to review. And then there's also, like any other adoption, webinars, PD materials. We have initial training in which our teachers will go through November 2nd if you approve this resolution. and then ongoing support from our department. So our one-year pilot, the price is $2,376. That covers our digital learning platform, teacher support, and professional development. Our goal is to, again, look at this and bring it back to the team when we go through our AP adoptions. But this is kind of one of those emergency situations where we really need that resource. We are using the curriculum general fund, and that's allocations that we have. And just to remind you of our district goals, we did involve our teacher leaders like we do every adoption. We had it up for public review and comment, and we are only getting the digital side because that's what our teachers want for our kids. Our kids are using Chromebooks. And being that it's a pilot, we wanted to just use the digital this year. So that is all I have, and I am open for any questions or comments.
What are they using currently?
They are not using anything, they're using supplemental materials because the resource that they had is outdated. So we've been working through the process since the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So is there any lapse for students who won't be eligible for the credit, or will this kind of pick up in time so they can still take the AP test?
So they've been using the standards with College Board, so there has been, our course has been going.
Gotcha, okay.
So our teachers have been supplementing, so now they have the textbook. So no, there isn't a lapse, but they've been doing a lot of work supplementing and working with our department.
So thank you for giving this.
Just what I was gonna ask is, like, we getting this right away?
Yeah, like as soon as, like, we have it right, I'll hit the button if you approve it.
She's kind of excited to hit that button. She's like, yes.
Any other questions?
No.
That's
All
it.
right, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our comments this evening.
All right, thank you, Dr. Smilak. Communications this evening,
I do.
board members?
So, I have a shirt on. I'm actually gonna take my jacket off for a second. So the first part of the shirt says specially made in Cleveland. And the back of it says, why fit in when you were born to stand out? And these were sold throughout our district. And it was meant to honor all of our students with special needs. And we thought specially made and why fit in when you were born to stand out celebrates such wonderful kids. All of the proceeds go to the end of the year luau we host for the students with special needs in 12 neighboring districts in Northeast Ohio. Approximately 350 students, peers, and caregivers come to Parma Heights Gym in May to party. That is from one of our teachers in the district. And I am, as like all of you, happy to support all of our students and especially such an excellent cause such as this.
Where did you get that?
Katie Vento was selling them, among other teachers. That just happened to be the teacher I ordered mine through. But GB Art and Design in Cleveland made them and designed them for us, and they're pretty fancy. They're also very soft. So they are very soft. That, and to our community, as always, I respect every which way everybody votes, but please fill your civic duty and go vote on Tuesday, November 2nd. That's all I got.
Thank you. Any other communications from board members? Treasurer?
Well, we have one board meeting in November, so 5-year forecast is going to be the one meeting in November, November 11th. It's going to complete. So, of course, we try to stretch our money as far as possible, and hopefully it will look better.
That's
2
good.
weeks.
We always like the word better.
Yes.
You like that and no surprises.
No, they'll be inspired.
No, you do a fabulous job of making sure every month we are all very clear on where we stand with our finances.
Yes, you do. PTA Council Report?
Yes, there is. Good evening, my name is, no? Oh, well. Hold on. Sorry.
There's a copy in your folder.
Oh, well, thank you for that. 'Cause I pulled up Annette's Petrino's and. Greetings from Parma Council of PTA. Unfortunately, we were unable to send a representative this evening. I want to thank you for reading this report. Tomorrow, we will host our fall trainings and tax filing workshop for our PTA units. At our October council meeting, we were thrilled to have Tiffany Stropko present information about the PCSD curriculum, along with Mr. Bickley and Mrs. Urban providing reports about what is happening in our schools. We also welcomed a guest speaker from AAA. Attendees brought canned food that we have donated to the PEA food drive. The annual Reflections program has begun. This cultural arts program, sponsored by National PTA, encourages students to create works of art in various categories: visual arts, photography, dance choreography, literature, music composition, and video production. Participants have an opportunity to be recognized for their efforts and possibly advance to the council, state, or even national level competition. We encourage participation from all units. This year's theme is I Can Change the World by. All entries are due to PCPTA by November 23rd at 3 p.m. Council Point Senate sale is almost here. Our sale runs from 11/1 to 11/17 with pickup on 12/4 at Parma High. You can place your orders online or drop off an order. The flyer will be going home soon and posted on our social media sites. We also will have online ticket sales for raffle baskets November 15th through December 3rd. The winners will be drawn at our upcoming winter luncheon. Our annual scholarship program has begun, and scholarship criteria requests have been distributed to sponsors. We're hopeful to be able to hold a winner's circle this year on Friday, April 22nd, and a scholarship dinner on Wednesday, May 18th. Please remember to join one of our PTA units. Thank you to those of you who've already joined. The units have also been encouraged to bring some of their membership envelopes up to the central office so that anyone can join. Our next Parma Council PTA meeting is Wednesday, November 10th, 7 o'clock p.m. at Parma Senior High in the cafeteria. We will be collecting winter hats and gloves. Thank you, and shine bright together.
Thank you. Well done.
But it's taking a while.
Any other communication this evening? Do we have any amendments?
Do not.
At this point, we open the meeting to the public to address the board on tonight's agenda items. Do we have any requests to be heard for? We do not. And I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-465, approval of the written record of proceedings from the October 14th, 2021 regular Board of Education meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and second to adopt Resolution 2021-10465. Any questions or comments? Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-10-465 has been approved. We now move to curriculum with Mr. Vaughn.
Thank you, Mr. Schweitzer. I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-466, approval overnight out-of-state field trip. Second.
Motion and second for 2021-10-466. Questions or comments?
This is a makeup of New York trip that was canceled, right?
No, this is the one
This
to
is a
France.
Yeah.
This is a European trip.
Oh,
This is the World War II
European trip.
tour.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
confused with the other
on
one.
the agenda, you're putting it in. We asked you all the questions. Sorry, they can.
Yeah, we're good. I was just trying to remember.
It's a pretty ambitious trip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll be enough of, I can go out of trips. That's all about one.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second for 2021-10-466. Did we do that already?
Mhm. Yes, questions? No, it's.
Roll call,
Yes,
Mr. Nucio.
Oh, okay, Mr. Nucio. I got lost there for a second.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10-466 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-467, approval of a pilot program for AP Psychology digital curriculum. Second.
A motion and second for 2021-10-467. Questions or comments?
I want to see Mrs. Strap.
I want to push the button.
I know, she got the button ready to
Just
hit.
in case, if this goes.
Mr. Nucio?
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10467 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-468, authorizing disposal of obsolete equipment from the Career and Technical Education Department. Second.
Motion is second for 2021-10-468. Any questions or comments?
I just think it's amazing that some of these things are 50 years old and we've really
Still
clearly
have-
squeezed every ounce of life that we possibly can out of them. Like the blue hydraulic press, which is now broken, but 50 years old.
That's crazy.
Also speaks to our staff and their savviness to keep those things running in their classrooms and such.
Probably bought that the year I started teaching.
Probably.
Any other questions, comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mr. Kreis,
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz,
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10468 has been approved.
Unless another board member has anything to discuss, this concludes curriculum for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Vaughn. Mr. Kreis, any business?
There is no business for this evening unless another member has anything to discuss. This will end business for this evening.
Okay, then right back at you with finance.
Yes, I'd like to move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-469, approval to renew the agreement with ISOL Benefits to manage and administer a flexible spending account.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for 2021-10-469. Any questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mr. Kreis,
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz,
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10-469 has been approved.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2021-10-470, approval of the September 2021 financial report.
Second.
Motion second for 2021-10-470. Questions or comments?
I just want to point out for anybody watching that we get these every month and they are open for obviously for the public to read and for the board members, so there is never any shock on where we are financially, never any kind of prolonged periods of time for things to shift around where we're not, abreast of the situation. And the same thing goes for the community, and Mr. Nucio has done a wonderful job since he's been here of making them more reader-friendly versus 10,000 lines of numbers that you get a headache after you're trying to move your fingers across the lines and stay in line. So we are very appreciative of this, and I'm just very grateful that it's out there and transparent every month for everyone to see.
And community members are allowed to attend the monthly finance committee meetings as well.
That is true.
Any other questions, comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mr. Kreis,
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz,
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10-470 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-471, ratification of investments.
Second.
A motion second for 2021-10-471. Any questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mr. Kreis,
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz,
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10-471 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-472, approval of supplemental appropriations.
Second.
Motion second for 2021-10-472. Questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mr. Kreis,
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz,
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10-472 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-473, acceptance of contributions and donations.
Second.
Motion second for 2021-10-473. Questions or comments?
As usual, I'd like to thank the community members for remembering Parma City School District as they give. It's very nice, donating a swim team pace clock at Parma High from Southern Hills. Ms. Plascana, I'm going to say that wrong probably, the monetary donation of $60 to Green Valley in honor of Elliot. And then the class of '79, I don't know, must be Valley Forge, donation of $520. That's very, very generous.
Very good.
So thank you, thank you.
Yes, ditto. Any other questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mr. Kreis,
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10473 has been approved.
Unless another board member has anything to discuss, this concludes finance for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Kreis. Do you have any legislative report this evening?
Not much, other than, we're still keeping an eye on the backpack bill and watching to see, what other kind of movement there is, but nothing really to report home today. Hopefully we'll have something in November.
Okay. Brings us to human resources. Mrs. Bratz.
Thank you, Mr. Schweitzer. I move for the adoption of Resolution 2021-10474, approval of the following certificated exhibits: confirmation of certificated replacement, confirmation of stipend amount, confirmation of supplemental contracts, confirmation of supplemental appointments, acceptance of certificated resignation.
Second?
We have a motion and second for 2021-10474. Questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10474 has been approved.
I move for the adoption of Resolution 2021-10475, acceptance of certificated retirement.
Second?
We have a motion and second for 2021-10475. Questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10475 has been approved.
I move for the adoption of Resolution 2021-10476, revision of certificated substitute pay rates effective November 1st, 2021.
Second?
We have a motion and second for 2021-10476. Questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10476 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10477, approval of the following classified exhibits: confirmation of classified appointment replacement, confirmation of change of classified assignments, confirmation of classified resignation, confirmation of classified stipends.
Second?
We have a motion and second for 2021-10477. Questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10477 has been approved.
I move for the adoption of Resolution 2021-10478, authorization to release from employment during probation classified employee.
Second?
We have a motion and second for 2021-10478. Any questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10478 has been approved.
Unless another board member has questions or comments, this will include human resources for this evening.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bratz. And policies, Mrs. Carpus, what do we got?
Yes, we have several, we have,
Couple that need approval and
yep,
two or three.
and then some first reading. So I move to adopt Resolution 2021-10-479, approval of the following revised policies: Policy 2230, course guides, and Policy 6600, deposit of public funds cash collection points.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for 2021-10479. Questions or comments?
Just a reminder, these are all, recommended changes.
Updating everything. Mr.
Yes.
Nucio?
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mr. Kreis.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
Yes, 2021-10479 has been approved.
All right, we're going to have the first reading of the following revised policies. Policy 2266, non-discrimination on the basis of sex in district programs or activities. Policy 2370.01, blended learning. Policy 5350, student mental health and suicide prevention. Policy 5630.01, positive behavior intervention and supports limited use of restraint and seclusion, and policy 7510.01, schedule of fees for use of district premises. And unless any other board members have anything to discuss, this concludes policy.
Mrs. Carter, I think you missed the last one, bonding.
I don't have bonding on mine.
No, that's not mine.
There's another one, okay. And also this, it would be the first reading of policy number 8740, bonding. Yeah, just a typo on the thing. So that would be all of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah.
Okey-dokey. Thank you, Mrs. Carpus. Any other information this evening requested by board members? Are there any new questions or concerns to be read into the record this evening? There are none. And I move to adopt resolution 2021-10481 to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Motion is second for 2021-10481. Questions or comments? Mr. Nucio?
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes?
Mr. Vaughn. Yep. Mrs. Bratz.
Yes.
Mrs. Carpus.
Yes.
Mr. Kreitz.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-10481 has been approved. This meeting is adjourned.